Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alright, got my 2007 Chevy Tahoe here, and I've been in contact with the good folks over at Alternative Off-Road, and I wanted to see if there are brackets that they make for the 2007 and 2013 Silverado will fit on my truck. And the brackets I'm talking about are these guys right here. They're the ones that mount to the hood that allow you to mount lights up kind of in the corners of your windshield that are attached to the hood. So they weren't sure if the hood bolts and the hood setup was the same on the Tahoes as it was with the Silverado. So I decided to be their guinea pig. I did pay for these, but they gave me a pretty decent discount for doing some T&E for them. So really appreciative to James over there at Alternative Off-Road for taking the time to go back and forth with me via email and answer all my questions. Top-notch customer service from those guys. He agreed to send these out to me for the discount. I paid for them. They shipped the same day, and that was on, oh, I got some yellow jackets buzzing me here, sorry. That was on Thursday. Today's Saturday, and they just showed up in the mail. So less than 48 hours later, I'm in Ohio, they're in California. Lightning fast shipping. Came with the instructions, came with a sticker, you know, the full shebang. Oh man, these things are buzzing me here. Got a yellow jacket problem at my house, apparently. Anyway, so I'm happy to report that it looks like the setup is identical to the Silverados on the 2007 to 13 Tahoe, at least. I would imagine that the Yukon's probably the same. So yes, the brackets for the Silverado will work on the Tahoe. I've got the driver's side on here. I haven't cut the little cowling cap yet, but basically how this works, if you're not familiar with these particular brackets, you take off your two hood bolts here and here that attach the hood to the spring, and you mount the bracket using the factory bolts right to here. And what that does, it allows the little part of the bracket to stick up here, so when your hood's closed, you got a little mounting point for lights right here, so you can have lights in the corners of your windshield for trail use. I'm gonna take these little LEDs, these little Arsenal Off-Road 4-inch guys here, and those are gonna go up into the corners of the windshield, and they're gonna be aimed out, not quite at a 45 degree, but they're gonna be aimed out and down a little bit like this, just to give some off-axis light for you know, camping use and trail use and whatnot. And then I've got a 30-inch light bar from Auxbeam that's coming, that's going to go right here. So anyway, I'll go through this with you real quick and try to get the driver's side mounted up on camera so you can see what it does, or how it works rather. It's not a one-person job, because once you pull these bolts out, your hood's loose and it's going to flop all over the place. And what you need to do is take your Sharpie marker, if you have one handy. You're going to want to get one if you don't. Take a Sharpie and trace the outline of the hood bracket where it is before you start messing with this, because if you tweak it too much and it gets out of alignment, you're gonna have issues trying to get your hood to close properly, and the gaps on the sides are gonna look all off and weird. So make sure you can line it up properly by marking the existing location of the bracket before you pull those bolts out. So anyway, we got the driver's side mounted, we got the passenger side bracket here. I've got my 13mm ratchet and my Sharpie here. And then I have my son, my 9-year-old helper, who's going to be helping us here get this other set off. First and foremost, I'm going to go ahead and mark the outside of this. I apologize, I'm doing this one-handed here. So, just going to mark the top here. And there's a little bit of a gap at the top because of the curvature of the bracket, so don't worry about that. I just use it kind of as a reference. But then when you get on the inside here, it's flush up to the surface of the hood, so you can mark it like that and just trace along the outside of it. And then you got your reference point, so you know where your bracket has to go. It'll focus. So just do that before you start pulling bolts out, and you should be okay putting it back on. So with that done, go ahead and start taking these bolts out. I'm gonna see if I can set this just so. So first and foremost, you have your little cap here that covers up the edge of the trim on the windshield. That just pulls up and out of the way. And you'll want to get this done before you pull it out. It's usually easier to do that with the hood closed, but you can still get it out this way. So set that aside. Then you're free to start working on your bolts here. Camden, you want to come out and stand up here and hold this for me?
Okay.
Alright, just keep a hand on that hood there for me, okay?
Okay.
Same deal as the other side. So, starting at the top, 13mm bolts. Loosen the first one. And you don't got to worry about too much movement, but as you start loosening the second one, that's when things are going to start getting wonky. So make sure that you have somebody holding on to this thing. And make sure that you mark your hood bracket before you pull these out. So you'll never be able to get it back on the same way. Well, you might be able to, but it's not going to be easy. You can probably see the hood lifting here as you loosen this. It's pivoting here because I'm loosening the bolt down here. So that's the reason that I have my son at the end of the hood kind of holding on to it. Here we go, it's free. And it will pop up like that. Now, the installation of the bracket is extraordinarily simple. All you do is take the shape of the bracket here. You see that you have these two little humps here. Those correspond with the humps that are in your OEM bracket right here. So all you do is line it up with your OEM bracket, and then using our fancy little Sharpie outline right there, we pivot the hood back down into position, feed the bolts back in, and using the OEM bolts, you just screw the thing on. It's fairly simple. Again, it's a two-person job. And once you get these started, you can it doesn't have to be perfect right away. You can get the bolt started, then tweak it and get your alignment good, then snug them up. So that's what I'm doing here. And there we are. That's actually fairly close. It's not quite there, but yeah, there it is. Boom. Done. And all we do from there is tighten the bolts up. Flopping around in there. Tighten those bolts up. You're not going to have a whole lot of threads here because you're using the stock bolts. They're not extended or anything, so double check everything is where it should be, and that looks pretty good. I'm going to tweak that just 1 second. Just over a hair. Right there. This probably doesn't make any difference doing it this way and just tweaking tiny little bits, but just in case it does, I'd rather do it right and have it lined up properly. Get those nice and snug. That bottom one snug down. Alright, there we go.
Can I jump off now?
Yep, you're all set, buddy. Thanks for your help.
Okay.
You can go inside.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, whatever.
Careful. Alright, and there's the finished product right here. I hope that came out. I hope the sun didn't wash out the video or anything, but as you can see, maybe you can see, I can't even see because of the glare on the screen. It's not focusing real well, so I'm using my cell phone here, so I apologize, but there's the installed bracket. So when you close this, you've got your light mounting points right here. Sorry, I can't even see what I'm aiming at because of all the sun glare. So there's the finished product. The only thing left to do is trim the cowling right there so that this fits. So all you need to do is take a saw and cut a small notch. Cut a small notch out of here and go all the way around and down with it. And then you'll be able to mount lights right there at the corners of your windshield. So just another mounting option for whatever lighting product you choose to use, but I gotta tell you, I'm pretty happy with it. That's bolts right up to my Tahoe. And those are some extraordinarily thick, heavy-duty plates too. I mean, those are a good 1/4 inch thick steel, and they are heavy-duty. And my camera's having more trouble focusing than usual, so I apologize for that, but I'll post an update video when I actually get some lights mounted up to this thing and get everything moved around and wired in. But it's a very, very easy install, as you can see. It doesn't take much to get these things on there and lined up properly. You just need to have a second set of hands to hold the hood so it doesn't get too wonky and out of alignment, because once it gets too far out of place, you're not going to have a third arm to start feeding those bolts in, because you got to hold the hood, hold the bracket, and then feed the nut in and get it threaded. So it's definitely helpful to have almost required to have another person to help you. And the directions that they include with the package go into detail on all of that, and they show you exactly where you need to cut on that cowling in order to make it fit correctly. So I will again post another video when I get this all finished and the cowling cut and the lights mounted, and provide an update for you. But so far, that is about the easiest modification I've made to my truck. And it's really low profile, doesn't stick up too far. It clears the windshield just fine, there's no issues there. So that's the hood at full extension, and there's still a solid, you know, 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch in between the end of the bracket and the plastic. So no worries about that. So anyway, that's it for now. I'll post an update when everything's finished, but that's the install. Doesn't get a whole lot easier than that. Thanks for watching, guys, and special thanks to James and everybody over at Alternative Off-Road for making a good product and getting that to me so fast. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate the discount. It's my pleasure to do T&E for you guys. So if anything else, or if there's any other companies that want me to use my truck as a guinea pig, let me know. Thanks again, everyone. Have a safe weekend. Take care. See ya. Alright guys, just a little bit of an update here. I got the brackets installed, I got the little trim pieces cut so they'll fit properly and the hood will close. But I did notice on the passenger side on the Tahoe, there is some interference right here with the upper portion of the valance with the bottom radius corner there of the bracket. I don't know how well you can see that, but when you close the hood, let's take this ratchet out of here. But when you close the hood, ding, it affects it just enough to push the hood out of alignment. You don't have any issues on the driver's side with it closed. Nothing over there is hitting. This driver's side's good. Driver's side's exactly as it should be. But what I think I'm going to do is take a file and just nibble off some of that. Nibble off some of the surface on the top of that upper portion of the valance there, rather than trying to grind away material off of the radius of the bracket and weaken it. So I think I'm going to just shave a little bit of material right here away, maybe 1/8 of an inch or so, and just kind of radius this corner here and see if that clears and solves the problem. But other than that, they fit perfectly on the Tahoe. I'm not sure what's different between, you know, this and the Silverado, but obviously it's shaped just differently enough to where that's interfering. So other than that, they fit great. They bolt right on. You just got to make a few modifications to get them to work perfectly. So I will do that, and I'll post an update here. Stand by.